Welcome back to the Morning Blend. The man you see in this photo lived every kid's dream. He played Little League and then grew up to be a home run derby king. Along the way, he got a baseball scholarship to Notre Dame and later played pro. Now that player is the coach. David Casey is the owner and president of the Milwaukee Baseball Academy. He teaches kids to hit, pitch, and field, and catch. And the timing is perfect for his visit because baseball tryouts are right around the corner.
That's right. What they say, March?
Yeah, I think it's like, yeah.
All right, and David joins us now along with Charlie Markson, who's a hitting instructor and Milwaukee Brewer, and Adam Witt, a strength and conditioning coach. Hi, guys.
Hey. Sup, guys? David got a haircut for this.
Yeah. How was it long like Jared Leto's before that?
Well, I have had longer hair, but you know, I had to get it shaved off for the show.
I got to give him the business for it.
Yeah. Trim her up.
Exactly.
Well, that's exciting. I mean, we gave kind of a rundown of your background, but you really were. You were the big star at Whitefish Bay, and people loved a lot of that. I mean, talk a little bit about what's coming up and what this baseball academy is all about that you guys are here for.
Well, we just opened up 2 months ago, and what we try to do is be a local place for young kids to come. And you know, me and Charlie and a couple of my other guys have been through a lot, and we've gone on to play professionally, and we want to kind of share those experiences and teach those kids that are coming into our place kind of what we can pass on to them.
And when you say young, you're talking as young as 4 years old up to 18, is that right?
Yeah, I mean, we want to, you know, we're opening it up to kids that are playing in T-ball, and then all the way up to the high school kids that want to go on and play college ball and beyond.
It is truly, I think, every kid's dream or their baseball dream at least. Charlie, you have kind of a similar story. You won 2 state championships in Little League, which is super cool. Every kid wants to do that. You played varsity baseball. I used to watch you play at Whitefish Bay. You were selected by the Detroit Tigers in Major League Baseball after graduating. You also got a scholarship to Notre Dame, went to school together, right? Yeah. What do you think was the key to your success? And maybe not just skills, but maybe also something about attitude or perseverance?
Yeah, I think it has a lot to do with that, you know, your work ethic and whatnot, but I think it has to do a lot with who you surround yourself with. You know, I grew up, you know, as a freshman and sophomore looking up to guys like David Casey and whatnot, and it's easy to get where you want to be if you have a group of people around you who also want to do that. I also was lucky to have really good coaches growing up, you know, down to the youth level where my parents actually coached me. My mom and my dad were both my coaches in Little League.
That's
when
cool.
we won those state championships, so that was cool. You know, my parents never pushed me to do anything I didn't want to do, but they were always there to support me when I wanted to do it. But, you know, and then growing up into high school and travel ball, I had great coaches who kind of worked off that base that I was given when I was younger to, you know, more fine-tune my skills. And I was just lucky to be surrounded with good friends and coaching and family to help it, and, you know, be an easier experience for me.
That's great. You played for the Chinooks.
Yes, I played with the Chinooks 2 years ago in their inaugural year. That was a great experience. I played summer ball for 2 years before that, 1 year in Seattle, 1 year in Boston, so it was kind of nice to finish up my summer ball career here at home so everybody that hadn't been able to see me play for a while could come out and experience it.
And the Brewers are going to start another season. You play for the Brewers.
Yeah, I'll report down to Arizona in March for my first spring training, so I'm excited for that. Get out of this polar vortex and head down to some nice 80-degree weather. And then in April, we break camp and head out to, hopefully I'll be in Appleton this year. If not, I'll go back to Montana where I was last year.
That's awesome. Great. And for you, Adam, you know, with you've got your degree in exercise science, and you're really helping with the strength and conditioning component. Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about what you guys do for kids at this camp, because you've got, what, 9,600 square feet, 4 batting cages, your own weight room, you've got pitching mounds. What exactly do you work with these kids, especially like 5-year-olds? Are you being like, drop and give me 50? Like, let's see those muscles, kids.
If they don't listen, yeah, I mean, obviously we have a wide range. I mean, 4 years old to 18, so that demographic is very big. The younger kids, we still do a lot of functional, a lot of dynamic stuff, very sport-specific drills. Their attention span is usually about 10-15 minutes, so we throw like a game in there.
Lots of burpees.
Yeah, I mean, the younger kids have like the most mobility. You know, they're not, you know, 18 years old sitting at high school sitting in a desk.
How much is this guy lifting?
That's you.
That's me.
That's you.
That's just some technique work there.
How much is that though?
But that's only 95 pounds. That's,
only. Oh, okay.
But yeah, you know, the younger kids, they haven't developed that many dysfunctional stiffness. They're younger. You know, it's these high school kids that have been sitting in 8 hours days of school for the last 15 years. They're stiff. They're tight. So it's kind of opposite ends of the spectrum. The younger kids have more freedom of movement, so we can kind of teach that functional lifting aspect. And the older kids, those kids, they want to do all like the stuff they see on TV. I want to do box jumps. I want to do resisted sprints when their bodies are tight, and those are the ones complaining about, hamstring stiffness or shoulder pain. So it's kind of like opposite ends. We kind of scale back a little bit more with the older kids. Hey, let's get you flexible. Let's get you moving more functionally so your swing looks more fluid. So it's interesting.
It's age appropriate, right? I mean, you're not having 4-year-olds lifting heavy weights, right? Because that wouldn't be good for their bodies.
Yeah, we're teaching the younger kids to first control their body before we implement some weights. And to be honest, it's usually this, I'd hate to put a stamp on it, but usually the 7th graders, 8th graders, we can start seeing some pretty good stability and movement patterns where I'm pretty comfortable weight training with those kids around that time if they have that there. But even some of those kids have better movement patterns than some of the high school kids. So it's really dependent. I mean, some high schoolers, I might not have weight training because they can't control their own body. So it is very individualized.
And what about positions? I wonder for you, Charlie and David, do you think it's a good idea for kids super early on to say, I'm a catcher or I'm a first baseman? Do you think it's better to play lots of different positions?
And force himself to be left-handed?
Yeah, what about that? That's a good question, too.
I always tell kids, don't close any doors that aren't closed for you. So, kids, if you like one better, that's great. You can play that one most of the time. But if someone's not, closing a door on you being a pitcher or closing a door on you being an outfielder, there's no reason to close it. Stick with that, and maybe you'll develop into that as you get older. So there's no reason to shut doors that you don't have to.
You agree?
I totally agree. And from when I was 8 years old in Little League till now, I think I've played every position except first base. So,
What do you think about forcing kids to be left-handed or trying to encourage that?
I think it helps a little bit to be, left-handed hitter and left-handed pitchers always get the benefit of the doubt. But, it's once again, like he was saying, don't force anything. Just let it come to you. If you're left-handed, congratulations, you're lucky, but don't force it.
What do you guys think in terms, because every parent thinks their child's the best. They all think they're so good or this and that. But what really separates a kid who's decent to one that really shines on the court? Is it more than just their physical abilities? Because I feel like, with the Chinooks, that's something that's always rewarded and awarded is that attitude as well. How much does that matter when you guys are coaching or looking at kids?
I think you always got like the pyramid, right? When you're younger, a lot of kids can play, okay? And when you're at that level, natural ability is going to be the thing kind of that splits kids up a little bit. And as you get, that pyramid gets skinnier and skinnier towards the top, like where Charlie's playing right now, for example, everyone's really, really talented. And what separates guys is their mental makeup and their ability to work, who works harder, who takes more reps. And even, at the high school level and stuff like that, a lot of kids are really talented, but a lot of kids don't have the work ethic or the drive or the dedication or, the love for the game. So those are things that really separate people.
And I think coaches are looking for that. And I'm glad you pointed out really quickly, a recent study of hundreds of college athletes like you guys had them think back on their worst memory from playing youth and high school sports. And a majority of them said their parents who criticized their performance was a severe detriment. What are your thoughts on that?
I think 99% of parents are outstanding role models, outstanding supporters of their children. And I think as long as the kids are the ones that are wanting to be there and the kids are the ones that are setting their own goals, I think parents are, can be a good support system for their kids. And as long as they're given constructive criticism, that's the most important thing.
Yeah, build them up. Build them up. All right, here's the information so that you can learn more about the Milwaukee Baseball Academy. The phone number to call and register is 414-332-3188 or visit online at MilwaukeeBaseballAcademy.com for more information. Thanks, gentlemen.
Thank you guys.
Great to have you guys.
Thanks.
Good luck this season, too. Thanks. We got Charlie and David back tasting the jambalaya. What do you think? In a word.
Delicious.
Delicious.
Got a nice kick.
But it's not too spicy. It's good. It's hearty for these
Do you
sports
feel
guys.
warm on the inside now?
Perfect.
It would work, right? On a cold day? Yeah. See, no, do you want to read prompter now that you have all that jambalaya in
You're
your
going to have to
mouth?
hold that in front.
And they're like,
Ready? No, I'm just kidding. Okay.